Hi, welcome to Waylo's Workshop. I'm Batman. No, this is actually our miniature from Knight's Models. As you can see, we have gone ahead and pinned him together, and I worked out a way of actually getting some of that detail to show up for you. It just seems I need to get a little closer and a little more shaded, and you can see that detail coming out real nice on this miniature. I thought I'd go over the pinning process with you, how I was able to put him together. So if you hold on 1 second, we'll reset and go from there. Okay, the first thing you're going to need to do with your miniature is you're going to need to give him a bath. You're going to need to wash him up as best you can. You can just use a little bit of dish soap. What I like to use is just a cheap toothbrush. Turn around, give him a complete wash over. This is before you pin him and glue him. Okay, so we're going to get that all done. That way all that detail stands out real clear. The mold release, whatever oils are on there from your hands or from packaging, you'll get all that removed. Once you've done that and you've got them all cleaned up, then you're going to have to take a close look at them and see the areas where you might see mold lines or seams or some flashing. Usually it's on the side between his legs there, up the side of the body, the sides of his head. That's where typically you'll find those seam lines. You want to eliminate those. With plastic, you can just scrape it off using an X-Acto knife. With metal ones, however, you're going to need to invest in a set of needle files. I got this from Harbor Freight. I'm going to put a link up on the website for them. These are really, really small, fine files, but they get into the smallest areas. I don't know if you can see just how tiny that is. But you're going to need a set like that. They come in all different shapes here in this kit packet I got. So it makes it real easy to knock down all those unwanted mold lines and flashing and clean them up. There wasn't much that needed to be done miniature anyway, so it was relatively easy to get him all prepped and ready. Once I eliminate all the seam lines, I then turn around and pin them together. Now the way I do this is I don't invest in all that brass rotting and all of that. I just use go to my local office supply store and just pick up a big jumbo box of paper clips, and then what you do is you simply bend a piece of this over, use a pair of wire cutters, snip it off, and then what you're going to do is you're going to drill a small hole. So you're going to need to get yourself a pin drill. These are real tiny. You can get these at most hobby shops, Hobby Lobby, places like this. I'll carry them, or you can order them online. I believe mine is a Testors that I got with a kit when I first started getting into miniature building. This particular drill came with an assortment of really, really small, fine bits. And then what you do is you simply use a little bit of Instacure. Then what you're going to do is just simply take and drill a small hole in the lower torso of the Mini. I use toothpicks, just right out of the shaker. Just keep that here on the bench. Apply a little of the Instacure with a toothpick into the drill hole. Put that piece of paper clip down into the hole. Give it a few minutes to let that Instacure set. Drill out the other side. Trim it down as much as possible. But you want to leave enough just so that pinning fits together, and then what you wind up with is what we've got here. So Batman is all together here. You can see I got a little bit of a gap around his waist there that I'm going to need to fill in. It's creating a dark line. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that to show up or not, but I've got a little bit of a gap around his hand with the batarang. Now once he becomes assembled here, as you can see, his cape stands away from his body as though it's blowing in the wind. I mean, this is really, really a nice sculpt for such a small mini. I was hoping that Knights Models will come out with a Batman Arkham figure in like 72 millimeter. I think that would be really awesome. But that's where we are so far. I'm gonna, once I finish filling the small gaps here, we'll come back and check in with you before we hit the paint booth. So as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to